Democracy at its core is based on the idea that truth or decision-making is determined by the majority, that what most people believe, vote for, or agree on should guide society. But this opens up a contradiction when you claim to believe in objective truths at the same time. First, we need to understand the difference between objective and subjective. Objective means something that is true, regardless of what anyone thinks. It's independent of opinion, feeling, or perspective. For example, 2 + 2 = 4 is objectively true. Subjective means something based on personal feelings, opinions, or perspectives. For example, saying chocolate is the best flavour is subjective. It depends on who you ask. So here's the contradiction. The idea that truth or correctness can be decided by majority opinion, you're accepting a subjective framework. You're saying that what is right or wrong can be shaped by what most people think. But if you claim that something like the Holocaust was objectively wrong, meaning it would still be wrong even if everyone in the world thought otherwise, then you're stepping outside a democratic framework. You're appealing to a truth that is not up for a vote. So if you're pro-democracy and you say the Holocaust is objectively wrong, you're contradicting yourself, because democracy allows for moral truth to be determined by the majority, which is subjective. Therefore, saying the Holocaust is objectively wrong only makes sense if you believe that some truths exist independently of public opinion. Directly conflicts with the idea that majority opinion decides truth. You can't claim to believe in objective moral truths and also believe that truth is decided democratically. One cancels out the other necessarily. Now, some might try to dodge this by saying, well, maybe morality is just subjective then. Maybe it's bad for you, but not for others. But here's the problem with that. If morality is purely subjective, then you're saying that the Holocaust can be both bad and not bad at the same time. Person A says it's evil, so it is. Person B says it's not, so it's not. That's a contradiction. You're saying that something can both be true and false simultaneously. Depending on who you ask, that breaks logic. There's no way to prove subjectivism. You can claim everything is subjective, but you can't logically defend it without assuming subjectivity itself is valid, which is circular reasoning. Then saying it's only bad because people think it's bad becomes an empty claim. And if that's the case, then anyone claiming the Holocaust is objectively wrong while supporting democracy is caught in a contradiction. Either morality is real and independent of opinion, or it isn't. You can't have it in both ways. Democracy, by definition, is a system in which governance is determined by election, meaning that decisions, policies, and leadership are legitimized by majority rule. In practice, this means that whatever the majority decides is treated as justified, simply because the majority decided it. This effectively delegates moral authority to the majority, not based on truth, but on numbers. But here's where the contradiction shows up. If you support democracy, you must accept the outcome even if your opponent wins, because by democratic logic, they are now justified simply by being chosen. So if you say you are justified in your views, but your opponent wins democratically, then you're also saying they are justified. But you can't both be justified in your views if your views directly oppose each other. One of you is wrong. To be pro-democracy is to say that your opponent is justified in winning an election, although you are contesting his views. And therefore you're saying that his views is more justified in your views, which means that you're not his opponent anymore. By that logic, if I'm pro-democratic and I oppose Hitler coming into power, but then he's in power, but I still support democracy, then I'm implicitly saying that Hitler getting into power in 1933 was inherently a good thing. So this is a contradiction. You can't have objective existence, which is independent of human existence, and subjective existence at the same time, because that would mean human consciousness determines reality. In fact, democracy comes from old rationalist philosophers, which gave the birth of these early modern philosophies like National Socialism and Marxism.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
5 nights left to find you, one last thing to tend to. You'll feel what I can do, but you'll never run. You're sworn of my actions, but I'm the main attraction. You'll bring my satisfaction. Our little horror stories just begun.